In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a color effect in a photograph by converting the photograph to black and white, and then bringing back an area within the photograph to color. First, we need to start by opening up an adjustment layer of black and white. You can see I already have my photo opened in my Layers panel. If you do not see your Layers panel, please go up to Window and select Layers. At the bottom of the Layers panel, I'm going to open up my selection and choose Black and White New Filler Adjustment Layer. You can see here the black and white adjustment layer is above my original photograph. There is also a Properties panel that's opened up, which gives me the opportunity to make some of the colors that are within this image darker or lighter. We have reds and yellows and blue primary colors, and then some greens and cyans and magenta of secondary colors. If I wanted to, I could slide this bar down and make the reds darker or lighter. I'm going to leave them exactly as they are. You can also select Auto and allow the program to do it for you. We next need to go over to the toolbar and make sure that in the paint color selection, we have a foreground color of black. Then select the brush. Remember, when you select a brush from, or any tool from the toolbox, the options bar now opens to give you options for that tool. I have a soft brush selected. I can make my brush larger or smaller by using the slide bar. I'm going to make it kind of large. And you begin bringing back color wherever you select the area that should be brought back in color by simply using the brush over the top of the area. And what's happening is you are taking away that section of the layer mask and revealing the actual photo underneath. One of the shortcuts I want to show you is how to use the bracket keys to make the brush larger or smaller. In my case, I have this really large area to work with, and it will take me a long time if I use this size brush. In order to make my brush larger without going up to the options bar and selecting the slider, I can simply use the right bracket that's on my keyboard to make it larger. And then when I get to an area maybe on the edge and I want it to be a little bit smaller, I can use the left bracket. You can find your brackets on the keyboard next to the letter P. I'm going to continue going over the leaf, making my brackets larger for the big areas and making them smaller as I get into the smaller areas till I have the entire leaf of color revealed. I do want to show you that if you go over the edge of an area that you do not want to, you make a little mistake and you don't want that color to be revealed, you can fix it by going back down to your color selection, bringing white to the foreground, and then doing the same with the brush. You're just almost putting this layer mask back and go carefully around the edges. Smaller, left bracket, larger, right bracket. And remember, if you go back to the leaf, you have to switch back to black. In the foreground, here we go, there we go. And continue until you have the whole area that you want to bring back the color revealed. I brought back all of the color on the leaf. I also did something else in my Layers panel. While you have the selection of the layer mask, the black and white, selected this layer, you can go up to opacity. I lowered the opacity a little bit just so that I can bring back some of the color in the background so that it is not all black and white against the color leaf. I like the contrast of it being partially black and white, and what you're doing here is lowering the opacity of the layer mask. This technique in Photoshop is a great way to show emphasis in a photograph by changing the background to black and white, revealing the color through using a layer mask. Remember to practice the tools that you learned, the shortcuts with the brackets, changing the sizes of your brush. I hope you enjoy creating this fun color effect in Photoshop.